Honor participant here. Her name it is Estrella. Estrella Shan. So
Thank you.
yes,
I think I need to do this, right? Now,
yes,
can you see me?
yes. Go ahead.
Wonderful. Hi, everyone. Even though my name is Estrella, a Spanish name, I'm actually Chinese. I was born in Hong Kong, but my grandfather moved to Panama a long time ago, and that's how I got my Spanish first name. So one of the questions that sometimes companies ask me is, okay, Australia, we have international employees who just moved here or have been here for a while, and we want to make sure that they feel included, welcomed. How do we do that? We do have some budget, but it's not a huge budget. What are some tips? And so that's what I wanted to share with you today. And there'll be three keys. These are the three tips that I think of. Is one is feeling connected. The second one is the style of organizing events, and the third one is looking for natural leaders. Mm. So I have lived in three different cultures, so that helped me to have some background in understanding cultures, the mentality, etc. But most of my education actually came from working with my clients, and my clients are international professionals. They already speak fairly good English, but they want to tweak it a little bit because sometimes their American coworkers cannot understand them the first time, and they get frustrated about that. So they want to be more effective in explaining their ideas and have it understood the first time. And other way that my clients ask for help is in making presentations to American audience, because in some cultures it's more formal. So they may not have the interaction like we have here today. And so they may lose some of the audience. And so we work on that. And also their interview skills. For example, a few medical students want to apply for residency, but they're excellent in what they do. But because of the culture that they come from, they don't feel right in selling themselves, in saying, oh, well, I'm really good with this. And so we rehearse that and I help them to maybe shift a little bit of their perception about that process and make it comfortable for them too. So the three keys, the first one is feeling connected. I think in quite a few cultures, it's more group oriented. And so there's a lot more social activities. When I was in Panama, we have parties at least every other week. And there was an engineer from Spain named Paco. He was working with this company that has Friday potlucks. And he said to me, it's a potluck, but people fill their plates with food and then go back to their cubicles. Nobody talks to anyone. So there is that need for social interactions because it's so comparatively speaking, Seattle is more individually oriented, just relatively speaking, and so it helps to help these international colleagues feel connected, welcomed. That's how they have that feeling. And I started a group called International Gathering 10 years ago. There were people that has just arrived from different countries, and they're not feeling connected to the new community. And because they come from a more socially oriented culture, they need to communicate in ways that feel satisfying to them. And so if you could think of ways to generate that kind of opportunity, it would be tremendously helpful. Just as an illustration, one of my cousins in Hong Kong, when she married, she had 11 bridesmaids. Only one of them was a relative. The others were all co-workers. So that tells you something about how important co-workers are in their life. It's not separate. It's like, oh, this is professional and this is personal and we don't interact after work. So that gives you some idea. Also, a friend from Cambodia, her name is Roar, when she invited me to her Thanksgiving dinner party, I thought, okay, it's probably just her extended family. Well, there were at least 70 people, probably 80 people in her 3-bedroom house, and half of them were coworkers from her company. I heard a little beep. Can you still hear me okay? Okay. So how can you translate this to practical activities? You could start a brown bag lunch. I know right now there's no brown bag lunch in person, but it's not a bad idea to start one online. It costs nothing. And the brown bag lunch would be on topics that people are interested in. Travel, for example. People are not traveling. So if someone comes from Paris, it would be nice if that person put together a slideshow or tips on places to see, places to eat when you visit Paris. So people vicariously, virtually, they are taking a little vacation, and it's nice at this time. Another idea is brown bag lunch. So online, what you can do is, if someone is interested in demonstrating a dish from their culture, and if they feel comfortable letting people into their kitchen, they could do a video share so people can see, oh, so this is the first step, second step. And at some point when people can get together again, it might be a good idea to transition that to a restaurant of that cuisine. So those who are curious can learn how to order and which would be a popular dish in that culture. So that's feeling connected. Those are some of the activities. Is there any question right now? I'm not looking at the chat. So some of the, I'm sorry, Sam, what were you saying?
Yes, thank you, Estrella. So I got one here that says, how can you create opportunities for social conversation with these international colleagues?
I think finding topics that people are interested in, for example, the travel or cooking or food, and have an online group just for those topics. Because not everyone has the same interest, but maybe one week someone from France can talk about Paris, and the second week someone from Mexico could share good places to see that locals go. It's kind of like a Rick Steves, online. So does that help to answer the question?
We have a says here. Someone is mentioning about, I'm curious. Brian mentioned about Cambodians, Panamanians, about the Seattle freeze. So everybody, you feel welcome here to chime in as we speak about what today is about. Having an opportunity for these people that are explaining what it is, that how they do. But as I know that you have the time here to continue. So tell us more about Estrella. What do you think about? You still have another,
I actually have more to share, a couple of points to share. So that's feeling connected. And other is style of organizing events, social events. For example, one of my friends, Layla, is from Russia, and when she had a baby shower, usually friends give her a baby shower, but since she didn't know that many people here, I offered to give her one. She said, no, I want to host a party. And she thought of the games, she provided the food. And so maybe in her culture, it's done differently. In fact, some people on their birthday from some cultures, they're the one who buy you dinner, not the other way around. And another example is Carla, who also had a baby shower. And instead of us throwing her a party, she invited all of us to Queen Mary Tea Room and have high tea for 30 of her friends. And so keep that in mind when you recruit people to organize social events. Maybe it could be interesting. So any question on that point? Okay, so I will go on. And the last point is look for natural leaders. Let me give an example. Rourke, the friend from Cambodia, she is an electronic assembler. And when she was working at a previous company, one of the coworkers from Cambodia lost her father, and she didn't know how expensive it is to have, funeral expenses and all that. And so what Ruth did for her coworker was she went around everyone in the company, and within a few days, she raised $5,000 to help her coworker pay for the funeral expenses. So just think of that power of influence. To have someone like her organize the event is way better than email reminders or flyers in the cafeteria. And another example is a young man named KJ from Korea. I remember when we were having class, and it was a really nice day outside. Someone suggests, well, why don't we just go out, because they're only here for a year. Why don't we just go someplace beautiful and enjoy this day? And so we play hokey, and within 2 minutes, literally, maybe not even that, KJ just told, okay, you call so-and-so, you call so-and-so, you call so-and-so, and within 2 minutes, the event was organized. And 30 minutes later, we were at our first destination. So if you could find people with this kind of influence to help you organize your events, it's a godsend. So to summarize, helping people feel connected by providing opportunities to have meaningful, satisfying conversation that people might be more accustomed to in their cultures, recruiting organizers for social events from different cultures, because different cultures do it differently, and so you could enjoy it even more. And also look for natural leaders to help you organize these events. It will save you a lot of time. So that is my presentation. I think I did not even use up my time, right?